Very pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Terrapins, Mike Locksley. Coach, you have such deep ties to this school. What does it mean to be in a position now where you get to represent Maryland as the head coach?
Well, like I've said from day one, having the opportunity to lead the program that I grew up rooting for has been, it's been a dream come true for me. But now that we're in the swing and the grind of camp, the reality set in that we've got some work to do, and we got a lot of work to do, and we're going to keep pushing through. We just finished practice number 7 for us, and we're excited about the opportunity.
Well, you talk about where you stand in camp right now. What has stood out about this team to this point?
You know what, up until today, I felt like, the last 2 practices, I felt we kind of played to a standard that we've really set for ourselves. And I was really excited because we put 2 back-to-back practices together. Now today, we finally got a really hot day, which we needed, and we were able to stay out here in it. And I saw the fatigue kind of kick in, and, what we've got to do is learn how to fight through it. I thought we finished a little sloppier than what I anticipated or would have liked us to, but, that's why we're in camp, and we'll get it corrected.
Interested in your practice structure. You've had a lot of experiences, a lot of different places. Does this replicate someone or somewhere more than another place?
There's no doubt. As I like to say, success leaves clues, and this is the practice plan almost to a T that we used at Alabama, which I thought was a really good plan because it allowed you to develop your whole team. This time of year, you've got 110 players in camp, and traditionally what I've been a part of is you're on one field and you go 1s, 2s, 3s, and the 4s don't get much work and your 3s kind of get cut short. But when we were able to split the fields and, everybody's able to get reps, meaningful reps, to be able to get the install that we need to have so that we prepare for Saturday when we go out and scrimmage.
Staying along those lines as far as the coaching part of it in practice, the way it's run, you don't allow your coaches, when you get in the team, to do a lot of coaching in between plays. What's the theory and the process behind that?
I think the big thing is you want to see what they know. It's the same way I ask our coaches in meetings. A lot of times as a coach, you get up and you do all the talking and all the correcting, and you never find out what they know. And so that's what Saturday scrimmages are for, but we also implement it in our team periods because we've just spent half our practice in group settings, and we do a lot of pod work to where all that teaching should take place, and then you build into the team situations. And that's where I want to see these guys on the field, taking signals, getting the calls, and then executing, and then we'll get them coached up off a tape or when they get on the sideline.
Coach, how'd you go about putting together your staff?
Well, I took my time. One of the things I learned from my first go-around as a head coach was to make sure that I got it right the first time. And obviously, I was looking for some guys that had experience. I've got a few guys that know the system that we run on offense. A young tight end coach, Mike Miller, who was a graduate assistant with me for me at Alabama, and Nick Cochran came up from Alabama. Then, just some veteran guys like John Reagan came from UPenn, and we've had long-lasting relationships. On the defensive side, I knew the structure I wanted. I wanted to be a 3-4 team. I wanted to be aggressive. And John Hoke and I have known each other a long time, and we share the same philosophies of what we want to be on defense. And so I got a good blend of some wise veterans that have been in the game, that have toolboxes to make adjustments and get you game plans to help you win, but also enough youth and some really strong young coaches that are really strong recruiters that have great relationships, but also have been great mentors for our team.
You lost a talented wide receiver. How do you, when you're having a high-octane offense, how are you going to replace that? And is it important that these guys have the speed or the ability to run routes to get open?
Well, a little bit of both, as you'd like to see at the receiver position. And sure, with the production that Jay Sean had last year for us, losing that production, when you look at it on paper, it hurts, but that's part of the game. We understand injuries are going to be a part of it. The receiver group is the one area where I feel like we have depth. But now we need someone to step up or step into that role, and we're still trying to find out which of those guys can be playmakers for us down the field. We know Jay Sean was able to make some big plays last year as a freshman, but now the door's opened up for some guys to have the ability to step in and take that role on.
You've had some transfers come in. I know what they're able to do on the field, but how is that working in the locker room? Walking around campus, what are they bringing to their program?
That's been the best part of the guys that have transferred in, that 2 or 3 of those guys come from winning programs where they understand the habits and behaviors we're always talking about that it takes to be successful. And these guys, a guy like Shaq has come in, and Keandre and Tyler Mabry, they've come in and not tried to be real vocal, but they've been very deliberate about how they do their business. And our guys are watching. I mean, I feel really good about the leadership part that they've brought to the table for us. They're all big-time players and have really, you see it now showing up on the football field. But probably the most impressive thing seeing those guys was the fact that they brought true leadership into the locker room.
Head coach Michael Locksley, thanks a lot, Coach. Welcome back. Great to see you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.